was a 6-year-old kid with no friends. I talked to him. I told him it gets better. I don't know. So that's what I did. There's my answer. Maybe you can go back and kill Hitler. I gave him a hug.
Who's Hitler?
Never heard of him.
Huh.
Could you go back and kill someone? Kill Kubizek.
Now there's a guy that deserves it.
What a nutcase.
Evil dictator.
Total maniac. I mean, I think with the giraffes in the middle of a war.
Tell people that basically the most normal thing about my life is that I'm a 6'4" transsexual. Beyond that, I'm a magnet for weird shit. If there's something strange that's gonna happen, it will happen to me. For instance, I'd like to tell you the story of Dead Doug and the Jewish aliens. When I was in my late, and the name will become clear, when I was in my late 20s, I had just come out of a pretty weird marriage. My ex-wife had cheated on me with Violent J from the Insane Clown Posse, a gangster rapping clown with who's also the guy that Eminem's ex-wife cheated on him with. So me and Eminem, we have this fucked up like 3 degrees of separation that I'm sure you'd be thrilled about. So I was, as you might expect, in kind of a weird place, and this friend of mine, who I had known from working in the nightclub, so he was a DJ and I was a nightclub cage dancer, called me up and he was living in LA. He said, "Man, I'm out in LA and I'm doing great. I'm working as a stand-up comic and a DJ making beats. You should come out here, and I will fly you out there and I'll give you a place to stay." And so, you know, I said, "Well, sure, okay." And so, true to his word, he flew me out there, and I arrived in Hollywood, and it turned out it was North Hollywood, and he did have a place for me to stay, but it was a closet under the stairs, like Harry Potter, for real. And he was, well, he had gotten 4 different psychiatrists to prescribe to him the maximum dosage of Adderall, which, if you're not familiar, is essentially pharmaceutical quality speed. And he slept never. He would sit in this like array of flashing beat-making machines, smoking pot, and telling stories. And he was convinced that that the world was run by Jewish aliens, and not in the anti-Semitic Kubizek kind of way. That's a callback. That's what we call that in the industry. But like, he was convinced that they were these beneficent aliens who had come down to the planet and infiltrated everything and were running everything for the greater good of mankind. And he was adopted. He grew up in a nice Polish Catholic family. And but he told me the story one night of how he had actually been accosted by a roving gang of rabbis in the airport who force converted him to Judaism. And told him that basically he was a chosen one and was going to save the world. And it was a weird scene in my life. Like the second night I was there, I had to run out and do errands for him. So he sent me out put me in a cab, sent me out to the deep, deep San Fernando Valley to what turned out to be a porn house. And by that, I mean not like sort of like a place that looks like they shoot porn, but I walked in the front door and there was like fucking going on and porn being shot in this place. And I said, "Hi, I'm here to buy pot for Doug." And so I did. I bought pot there with a credit card because that's how they roll in Hollywood. And went back to the house where I sat and watched smoke more and tell stories about the Jewish aliens. And after a while, I would look out the window, out this window in North Hollywood, out over the San Fernando Valley, and I would see the lights like dancing above Hollywood. And I was like, well, fuck, I guess that's the Jewish aliens. And there's not really any particular point to that story, except to tell you that weird shit happens to me. So this brings us to the final play of the evening. And I hope you've all been having a good time. I know, it's very sad. I'm going to miss you. They force converted me too. And so, but it brings us to our final play of the evening, which I assure you has nothing to do with Hollywood speed freaks or Jewish aliens. But it does have all the trappings of classic science fiction. It's got robots and sword fights and mad scientists galore. So, please, sit back and enjoy Bonfire of the Galaxy! Yay! Who's in here? Look out!
That's why I came to find you. The ship's crew's mutinied. They joined the mutant pirates.
You mean Peterson?
He was with them.
Oh, this is awful.
It gets worse.
Oh, incredibly worse.
The atrium's been breached. The ship's zoo's been let loose. The upper and lower decks are swamped with the genetically modified animals Dr.
Dumay!
Dr. Dumay created. Worst of all, the snake sharks have gotten loose.
Dear God! Not the snake sharks! Even Dr. Dumay knew enough not to do that!
I thought we were calling them shark snakes.
We're calling them, they're calling us lumps. Johnson's dead, and McIntyre's still trapped down there. You promised us. You promised me this wasn't gonna happen.
Of course he did! How would he have gotten you here otherwise? I told you all this ship was a disaster from the start. No one listens to me, of course.
Quiet you! You've been nothing but doom and gloom.
Well, you're not the only one. I saw this coming from 1,000 miles away. You can keep your space money. I knew it was a mistake taking a job with your company. How did you ever expect to control all of this?
Oh, 1,000 miles away. Well, it didn't stop you from taking the job, though. Now did it, Ms. Morgan?
I did it because I loved you. And you didn't. You don't even care. All you care about is yourself. Yourself and your precious space money. Well, where's your space money to save us now? Your arrogance has doomed America.
Not if I have anything to say about it. I mean, sure, this is a pickle.
This ship is on a collision course with Washington, D.C., carrying a nuclear payload capable of turning half the eastern seaboard into a yellow cake beach. And you call that a pickle, huh, Mr. Hero? Even if we could get the control of the ship back from the pirates and somehow get the upper hand of the snake shark, the port and starboard engine boosters have been shot to hell. Right now, this ship is about as maneuverable as a baked potato. So even if we could get the engines going, there's no way of turning this monstrosity from inside the ship. And I don't know if you looked out the window lately, but Superman ain't out there.
I've got a plan.
I'm sure you do.
If you can somehow get me to the west wing, I can unlock the third level air hatch.
The sudden decompression would freeze the B sector piping to the collider engine.
But that could cause rapid tachyonic crystallization.
Exactly.
But when crystallization reaches the core...
Then half this goddamn ship will blow up. What the hell kind of plan is that?
It's the one that doesn't take out half the eastern seaboard by smashing the equivalent of a dozen nuclear reactors into it. If this ship hits Earth, we'll kill countless millions.
And you're just prepared to sacrifice the 50,000 lives aboard this ship to stop that from happening?
Now that is a pickle.
We don't have a choice.
We?
I don't. You may be the head of the Titan Corporation, and this ship may be run and built for the Titan Corporation, but it's still a ship, and its captain is dead. That makes me as first mate in charge. This is my ship now. This is my ship.
Attention crew and inhabitants of the SS Galaxy. I know you've all been waiting with bated breath to find out what daring heroics will save you at the last moment. Well, I am here, as I have been all along, to give you what you want.
It's doom!
Doomsday.
Crew and inhabitants of the SS Galaxy, I offer you a deal. Alex Titus, I know you're alive. I can smell your greed. I'm sure you're listening intently. I'm sure you're quite concerned with what will become of your very expensive investment.
Let us go, you monster!
I offer you a deal. A very simple request, really. Alex, little Alex Titus. Brave little Alex Titus. I just want what everyone on this ship wants. What everyone in America wants. I want you to apologize. Patch yourself into the